Yo, the Seattle Seahawks did what? Cooper Kupp to join the Seahawks on a 3-year, $45 million deal? Former Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp. Just let that sink in, right? Perhaps the greatest receiver in their history, and that's saying a mouthful for the team that had Isaac Bruce on it. A team that had Torrey Holt on it once. What are we doing here, right? I don't give a damn how old this dude is, right? 31 years old for the type of ball that he plays, that's nothing, right? I don't know why they would, part ways, right? Money has to be allocated a certain way at a certain point in time, right, with a team, and some of these things just happen, right? Even Jerry Rice didn't finish with the San Francisco 49ers. Keep that in mind. This is one of the greatest receivers of our generation. One of the greatest receivers of our generation, and this is coming on the heels, right, of people crying about DK Metcalf because he's big and he has muscles. He's big and he has muscles. Never mind the football aspect of it, of not being on time, not being there when a quarterback trusts you, right? If I'm going to be on this 5 or 7 step drop, when this ball comes out, you're going to take this perpendicular angle, you're going to cut, and you're going to be right there. No, you're going to drift upfield. You're going to freelance, or you're going to lollygag at a certain point, quit, lead me to an interception, and I got all these mouth breathers right here pissed off at me, right, for no reason because they don't know what's going on. They just like you because you're big and you have muscles. That's what I saw from the Seattle Seahawks. To me, they're now building a team, and I told you, it does not look like they're trying to do any type of rebuild. They're going for it. You sign a DeMarcus Lawrence, you sign a Cooper Kupp, right? You re-sign Ernest Jones, you re-sign Jaron Reed, and that looks like they're going for that division. To me, that's pretty wide open, if you know what I mean. You got one of the guys switching sides here in Cooper Kupp who could be a major difference maker. A major difference maker. He grew up roughly 140 miles southeast of Seattle in Yakima, Washington. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Y'all going to roast me. Listen, I'm from the East Coast, baby. I don't know what's going on out there. Yakima, Washington. We're going to go with that. Then attended, of course, Eastern Washington for 2017. Damn, it's been since 2017 he got drafted. Look at that right here. I'm coming home. Look at that, right? They got him in the old school Seattle joint, though, right? Whose jersey number was that back then? Number 10. Yeah, that's hard right there. But, hey, you know what? Add that with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, right? A guy who's 4.3 speed, right? He might have suspect hands, but so did DK Metcalf, right? But this guy can fly. He's going to be able to decapitate a defense, right? You send him vert, just consistently send him vert. You got Cooper Kupp on the same team with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Mind Jigba. You talk about two of the best route runners that you'll see. Two guys who are always on time. Oh man, that's hard. That's hard, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting back as a neutral observer. I'm like, yeah, now that's how you do it right there, right? You plug somebody in, right? You get yourself a guy like Marquez Valdez-Scantling who can get after it, right? As far as getting vert. But then you give these guys underneath for someone like Sam Darnold, right? Darnold needs to be able to hit that back foot, launch. Matter of fact, look at this. I want you to look at this right here. This is what separates, to me, someone like Cooper Kupp from a DK Metcalf. Now, keep in mind, DK Metcalf, I still think is pushing to be a top 10 receiver. A lot of you people were trying to tell me he was the best receiver in the league, and I thought that was ludicrous. It was absurd. You know what I mean? Look at this right here. So you guys see that clip that I ran, right, where DK Metcalf rounded that bad boy off. Right, he ran that route, and the transition looked like it was in 3 different steps, right? Like he was baby steps, right? He was a toddler just learning how to walk coming up out of his transition. I had this bad boy stashed right here. I saw this one time. I was like, good Lord, Cooper Kupp is just nasty. Look at this right here, right? You see Cooper Kupp, he's going to go in motion. This is how you run an out route. Right? People want to worry about if you're running an out route super fast. No, look at this right here. What? Oh, my God. He made the man fall. He made him fall. Right? He's able to catch the ball and get upfield a little bit. This is the exact type of receiver that someone like Edad Geno's vibes with. That's his type of receiver. Geno Smith is a rhythm and timing passer. I feel bad for him, right, that he doesn't get a chance to witness somebody like Cooper Kupp play, and he would absolutely destroy it with this guy, right? He would cut down on interceptions and everything. But watch Cooper Kupp push it vertically, right? He's pushing it vertically, right? This guy has outside leverage here. Right, what you would think, well, he has outside leverage. How in the hell are you going to get out there with an out route? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Look at the transition right here. Right, look at this transition and look at the angle cut. He cut straight on a dime, gave him change, and then went completely square, right? Squared that bad boy off to the sideline. Look at that shit. Look at the early pandemic separation, right? That was that week one. When they told us what the pandemic was, that's how far you social distance from the next man right there. And then he made him fall. He made him touch earth. That's the shit that I like about football. I don't give a fuck how big somebody is with muscles and shit like that, right? A lot of you dudes is wild fruity with Splenda in your tank and shit. You like watching big black men with muscles, right? That's what I think that is right there. I'm always asking people, what about the football aspect of this, right? What about having great hands like Cooper Kupp has? What about having the ability to be on time because you're running your routes absolutely perfectly, and you're able to do this to some guy, right? Look at that. That is outstanding. That is outstanding, right? You look at this route right here when I'm running it with your boy DK Metcalf and how he gets out of this transition, right? And that's not just because of DK Metcalf's athletic profile. He's still pushing up there, right? He's still a viable asset in the league. There's no doubt about that, right? But there's more than one way to skin a cat. I mean, look at this. This is not how you run this route. You round something off like that. You allow someone to be able to undercut you, right? Geno Smith is throwing it to a spot. Like if you know what I'm saying, real football heads understand what I'm talking about when I was pointing stuff like this out. And look at this. Look at this drawing, right? Put him in motion, right? Coming out of the slot. Now watch him find the void in the zone. Look at his hands. Gaka. You see that? If a certain so-and-so do you think, right, let's be real right here, you think your boy Dennis Rodman Jr. would be able to catch this? This pass is far out there. You got to drag your toes. Remember that drawing, right? When he could have had a touchdown, all he had to do was get the other toe down, and it looked like, right, like he had two left feet when he was trying to get the toe down. You know what I mean? Just like little stuff like that. The nuances of the position, I think DK Metcalf lacks. Now, that's the thing, though. If you get someone like DK Metcalf who then can get better with the nuances, obviously you have yourself a physical freak. And then you add that on top of it, you know what I mean? That's scary, right? T.O. was a lot like that, right? He was really good with his route running, and he would practice that ad nauseum and all that. T.O.'s hands were a little shaky, though. Of course, Megatron Calvin Johnson was a really good route runner. That's to me. See, y'all kept trying to compare him to Calvin Johnson. I'm be honest. That's when I first started the coverage. I was highly annoyed with that. I'm like, this dude is not no damn Calvin Johnson because he's big and fast and he has muscles, right? Calvin Johnson was more than that. That's why he was unstoppable. His hands, first and foremost, Calvin Johnson's hands and his ability to high point the ball and all that. Come on, man. Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marquez Valdez, Scantling, and you still have the draft, right? I had to tell one of these dudes, I'm like, damn, bro, free agency is over. Like, you know what I'm saying? You done punted already on the season, talking about they're tanking. You done punted on John Snyder, talking about he need to be fired. Right? You one dude pointed on the team and shit. He said he was about to become a Raiders fan and all this and that. And you know what I mean? Like, that type of shit be killing me. So, you know what I'm saying? Better respect that boy John Snyder. He's the sniper. And people are going to cry about the offensive line. That this is not an offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? And to a certain degree, I understand. But one of the things that I kept thinking about and I kept telling people was most of the offensive linemen are young. You got guys who are entering their second year. And you guys were excited about literally every single one of them, right? It's the weirdest fan base ever. You guys are excited about every single person that goes on that team, and then you turn on them real quick. Remember the whole Mike Jarrell saga? He was the greatest thing since sliced bread for one game. Then I was like, I don't know about this. I really looked into it. I was like, you guys might want to watch this a little bit more And then, you know what I mean, I did the thing there, and then it kind of went downhill from him for him the next couple of games and shit like that, right? Some of you guys were excited about Stone Feet Forsyth. The fuck out of here, right? Lumea, this guy's young. Of course, Christian Haynes, Bradford, you know what I mean? Charles Cross, Abe Lucas, suppose it's a coaching thing. That's what I wonder if they're thinking. Like, is it a coaching thing? We have Rick Dennison in the building. The zone wizard, right? The zone wizard going back to the Gary Kubiak days. Gary Kubiak's right-hand man. He is in your building. He's not the offensive line coach, but he's the offensive line coach, if you get what I'm saying there. So suppose that's the deal. I know you want new bodies, but sometimes you have to coach up. You know what I'm saying? It's called run what you brung. Run what you brung. These guys, you thought at one particular point in time were very talented, right? If the talent is not there, I understand that. But all you guys said that. Maybe they just need to be coached up, right? Or maybe it's time to hit the draft. They have the draft capital as well. I don't know. I'm impressed with what John Schneider is doing. If you don't like it, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But you have to let me know what you think about that one. I took one for the team. I know they're going to come with these content ID claims, right? So your boy be sitting up here. I had to run home, right? I was out with my wife. I said, well, I got to go home and do this video for the Seattle Seahawks people. They're going to want me to talk about Cooper Kupp, right? So we cut that there. But I'm going to get a content ID claim and working for free. When you got dumbasses in your fan base like this one clown who was talking about me doing a BetUS ad in a short video, right? Got to be the complete clown to ever mention anyone's earns anyway, right? First and foremost, you get your face blown off like that here in Philly. You don't talk about someone else's money. And you try to do it passive-aggressively. It is what it is. I have to feed my family, right? You're not paying for it. You didn't pay for it. Why are you complaining, right? So real football heads out there, unite, you know what I'm saying? Make sure dudes like that never, ever up on the channel. Make sure you support and tip, you know what I'm saying, your hibachi waiter and all that. We getting it in regardless, baby. We strong. Top billing villains out there. Salute. Salute to the boy, John Schneider. He's doing his thing, right? Straight up, right? Let me know what you think about this one here, right? And then commence the crying about the offensive line too, right? You know that's going to be in there, right? Salute. I'm out.